Do you want to start a private practice in counseling? Maybe you're a professional counselor, a social worker, a psychologist, and you don't know where to start. I've had a successful private practice for over 3 decades along with my wife, and we would like for you to learn from our mistakes instead of making them yourself. Look, you can build a financially successful private practice that helps lots of people, and I want to help you get there. So today I'm going to give you the first 3 steps to start a private practice from scratch, and I want you to stay with me to the end because I'm also going to give you a bonus tip to help you along your journey. Well, welcome to I Have a Voice. My name's Dean Sunseri. As I said, we have been doing mental health counseling along with my wife for many, many years, many decades, and we're going to help you today get you started from scratch, or perhaps you have a private practice and you want to go to the next level. We're going to help you with 3 specific steps to help you along your way. Let's start with step number 1. You need to find a good location for your office, the ideal location. Listen, when you're practicing or transitioning from what you're doing now into a private practice, take it slow, let it evolve. Don't do it all at once. But ask yourself the question right now, as step 1, what is the ideal location? Certainly you need to take in consideration, what is my ideal audience? Where are the people that I'll be serving? What part of the city or the area that you live in? Where do they live? And where's a location that's easily accessible to them? Sometimes a central location is good. I've had office in a central location that's accessible from the North Shore, from the South Shore, from different parts of the city. So just think through that question about the ideal location. Now, obviously, it needs to be a safe place. It needs to have ample parking. It needs to be accessible easily for clients, all those things. But think about what is the ideal location. As part of this, my recommendation would be not to sign a lease up front and make a long-term commitment. If you just start in your private practice, what I would say is find a place that you can rent by the hour. For example, I have an office in New Orleans and I work there during the day. Now, in the evenings, I don't work in the evenings. I don't work on Saturdays. My office is available to be rented to someone by the hour in those times. And if somebody approached me, I'd be open to that. Find someone that is open to renting to you by the hour, and you probably will have to start your practice doing after hours. You need to accommodate your clients up front until you get your reputation going. So it may be evenings, it may be Saturdays. Rent by the hour and don't make a long-term commitment initially up front, and it makes it a lot easier on you in the transition. Also recommend finding, say, a group that has an office, a group of therapists, counselors, psychologists, social workers that have an office and share space. In Baton Rouge, I have an office and I share it with 2 other wonderful social workers, and we all share the expense. We have a common waiting room, a common kitchen area, and then we all have our individual offices. And our rent is very reasonable because we have on our private offices, but our rent is very reasonable because we share the expense. So consider looking for a group to where you can decrease your rent. And also it opens up the opportunity for cross referrals. One of the ladies I work with, she does a lot of adolescent counseling. I don't do a whole lot of adolescent counseling. So I'll send clients to her and she'll send me clients for marriage counseling. So it's a wonderful opportunity to get some cross referrals. So step 1 is find a good location for your office. Step number 2, right now or a little later, get on Google and search counseling near me or marriage counseling near me, or if you're an adolescent counselor, adolescent counseling near me, and see what comes up on the first page of Google. A lot of my referrals that I get today come from Google, and I've learned how to strategically get placed in that. Future videos, I will help you in doing that for yourself. But right now, go to the first page of Google and see who's there. That's the places that you want to be. You want to get integrated into that. Success leaves clues, and so find who they are and see how you can get in that. So let me give you an example. Let's go to the first page of Google and I typed in here, marriage counseling near me. So at the top of the page, what you'll notice is that the arrows point out that the first things that come up, and this is in the New Orleans area, is ads. Paid ads to be up on the top of Google. Now, you may want to consider that. If you're just starting out, you may want to put part of your investment initially into paid ads, because it will immediately start generating clients, because everybody goes to Google today just about to do searches, search engine. And if you're at the top, you're going to get business. Now, you have to be able to balance out the payment of that, because these are paid advertisers. If you notice, you'll see BetterHelp Marriage Counseling. You have a lady's name who's a licensed marriage and family counselor. And if you scroll down to the middle of the page of Google, there's what's called Google Local Business. You need to fill out, it's free, is get a Google email address and fill out a Google Local Business profile. If you notice here, if you put marriage counseling near me, first comes up restoration counseling, second comes up mine is Counseling New Orleans, Dean Sunseri, LPC. Third comes up Magnolia Family Counseling. Google posts the top 3. There may be hundreds of people that have Google Local Business that are marriage counselors, but Google will only post the top 3 on the front page. You want to be one of the top 3. I can show you how to do that, how I've done it. I have it both here and in Baton Rouge. If you put marriage counseling Baton Rouge, I'll come up either number 1 or number 2. I get lots of clients from this. There's certain strategies that you can do to do that. And this is actually a free listing. So you need to master on how to do that. A lot of my referrals come through this. This is in the middle of the page, of the first page of Google. If we go down a little further to the bottom of the page, you can see there starts to be some websites. What inevitably comes up first in a lot of places, perhaps in your location, is Psychology Today. And Psychology Today is a website where you can have a profile. You can purchase a profile to run, and you pay a monthly fee. I guess it's probably close to $40, $30 or $40 that I pay. And I do get a handful of referrals from them. It's a good place, a good investment for you, because they're consistently high up. Psychology Today. And if you go down further, there's Behavioral Healthcare, CNC. It's a company that matches you with experienced therapists. That's probably another paid service. This is a free service. The third one is Yelp. You can today fill out a profile on Yelp. There's Health Grades. You can fill out a profile there. As you go down, there's thumbtack.com. You can fill out a profile there. Those last 3 are free profiles that you can fill out. You need to get into those systems that are on the first page of Google. Do that today. So step 2 is to evaluate Google, put in the search, counseling near me, and evaluate what's on the first page and figure out how to get into those websites if at all possible. You can get on the first page of Google either through paid advertisement or free, filling out some of these websites, profiles, and get your name in there. It will definitely pay off. Now, I also want you to know that upcoming, I periodically do Growing Your Private Practice Bootcamp. I'll have a date coming up soon. But if you'd like to be part of that, or to get the information about that, just look in the description below. It'll have a link, upcoming Growing Private Practice Bootcamp. Click on that, send me your information. I'll add you to the mailing list, and I'll make sure you get the information to help you build your practice when we have the next boot camp. Step number 3 is you need to identify your top 5 revolving door referral professionals. What do I mean by revolving door? Listen carefully, because it's very important. A referral is when someone who randomly sends you a referral or a new client, right? You might have a friend that has a friend that's struggling with anxiety, and they say, oh, I have a friend that does counseling. Here's their number, give you a call. And your friend might refer to you once every blue moon, once a year, once every other year when it's upfront. A revolving door is different. A revolving door referral is someone like a revolving door that sends you clients over and over and over and over again. It would be much worth your time investing in building a relationship with a revolving door referral than someone who randomly sends you referrals every once in a while. Let me give you a few examples to help trigger your brain to think about who are your revolving door referrals. I specialize in substance abuse counseling, do a fair amount of that. And so if there's a really great marriage counselor that has a real busy practice that doesn't like to do substance abuse counseling, that can potentially be a revolving door. I develop a relationship with that person, I refer to them periodically, but every time they have a couple that one of the people are dealing with a substance abuse issue that needs counseling, guess who they're going to send it to? Hopefully me, because we've developed a relationship. Now, how many couples do you know that one of the people are dealing with a substance abuse issue? Perhaps it's 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5 new clients that they get. And so they may send me 1, 2, 3 referrals every month, and that person would be considered a revolving door referral because they're consistently sending to me. Another example is I have a friend who's an adolescent counselor who doesn't do substance abuse. And so periodically she has adolescents who are dealing with drug abuse, and she sends them to me to deal with that part. And so she's a revolving door because she consistently sends me those individuals when she gets them and finds out that they're dealing with substance abuse issues. Another revolving door example is an attorney. I do substance abuse evaluations. An attorney whose practice does a lot of DUI cases. Well, they need someone to do evaluations for their DUI clients. So I build a relationship with this attorney, I service them well, and then they get a new DUI client that needs an evaluation. Who do they send them to? To me. That attorney becomes a revolving door because they consistently send me referrals over and over again. A couple other examples, I've had relationships with pain doctors before, and sometimes the pain doctors need to have their clients take a substance abuse evaluation. So they'll send them to me, I'll do the evaluation, send the evaluation to the doctor, and they have a history of their substance use or abuse. Or sometimes even like an intensive outpatient substance abuse program. They may treat someone, but that person might need to follow up with marriage counseling. I do marriage counseling. I have a relationship with that intensive outpatient program, and they'll send me clients that need marriage counseling. That's a revolving door. So I want you to think about right now, what are the top 5 revolving door referral professionals that you need to develop a relationship? Spend time thinking about that, write down their names, and begin today building relationships with them. Well, how do you build a relationship? Look, take them to lunch, bring them a gift. You want to learn about their practice, tell them about your practice, your experience, develop a relationship. You can ask them, you say, how can I help you? How can I help you build your business? There's a number of ways. Just begin to build a relationship with these top 5. Target them. And as you strengthen those relationships, once they're strengthened and established, they start sending you the clients, and it becomes a revolving door. And it's a wonderful way to begin your practice. I told you I was going to give you a bonus tip, and we're going to move into that right now. I want you to think about those first 3 strategies are things that you need to do outside of you. But the truth is, as a therapist, as a counselor, a psychologist, social worker who's having a private practice, the fact is the greatest gift that you can give yourself, or that you can give your client, or even the growth of your business, is to do your own emotional work. Yeah, that's the greatest gift. The things that you work through yourself becomes the treasure chest of what you're able to help your clients with. And the opposite is true too, is that the things that you're stuck in or the things that you will shut down your client and won't be able to help them through. So for example, if you're dealing with acute grief that you haven't dealt with and you have a client that comes to you that has acute grief, it's going to be very difficult for you to work with them. But if you work through your acute grief, you process it, you heal, you go through that whole process, when they come to you, it becomes very easy to teach them what you know. So the greatest gift you can give them is to do your own emotional work and to work on yourself. My wife and I wrote a book called The Roadmap to the Soul, and it's a process to help you grow stronger emotionally. It also will help you create a vision of success for your new business and to let go of the fears that hold you back. It's not just a book, but it's actually questions, answers, processes, exercises, and I promise you it will help you in catapulting you to a new level in your emotional growth. So if you're interested in that, feel free to visit the description below, and there's some links to that. Look, we want to help you have a successful practice. And I want to teach you all the things that we've learned over the years. Look, check the link below to stay updated on our next Growing Your Private Practice Bootcamp. And we have a whole playlist of complimentary videos on growing your private practice. Look, this playlist is on the screen right now. I encourage you to click on it, continue your learning, and we will see you in the next video. God bless.